So here's some common materials to get you started: a coat hanger, some wire cutters, different size pliers. So based on your line design, I've just cut a piece of wire, some different lengths based on your design, using my fingers, the pliers, to shape them into the expressive lines that you need. Now to begin wrapping, you're going to take a length of yarn and start with the end and lay it over one end of the wire and wrap it around. You should be able to get this started and conceal the end of the yarn without having to tie any knots to get you started. Make sure as you're wrapping that you wrap it really tight and go the length of the wire. When you get to the end, kind of fold over the last little piece and wrap it a couple of times and give yourself a couple of knots there at the end. You should be able to get that tied without it slipping off the end. If it does slip off, just add a drop of Elmer's glue to the end and let it dry. Now the cigarette lighter that you saw there will singe up any loose pieces of yarn and kind of help to strengthen the strings and strengthen the knots. So once I've got the rest of the design wrapped with using the same process and then using the lighter to singe the fabric, I'm going to combine those. So I'm taking some strands of yarn. If you need to separate the strands of yarn to make the strings thinner, that's an option. But I've just got them wrapped around, a couple of knots tied, reinforce the strand. You might have to kind of reshape some of your wires a little bit, figure out where you're going to attach the pieces and how you're going to attach them, decide what colors of yarn you need to use so that you can get that, get some rhythm with your color choices and the patterns. You can wrap different stripes or patterns around the individual pieces of wire that are wrapped with yarn and create an interesting design, some interesting patterns with color. So I've got all the pieces put together there. Now next we need a chain to hang it from. So I've just got 3 strands, just doing a traditional 3-strand braid. To braid the length of this yarn, I've got about 2 to 3 feet of yarn. As you braid it or twist it, it will shrink up a little bit, so you want to make sure that you have enough. Tying a couple of good knots in the end. I'll cut off the excess string and attach it to the jewelry piece. Get it nice and tight there so it will hang nice and neat, and there it is.